So it's the morning of the match. Just got everything loaded into the car. Walk the dog. Ready to rock and roll. So yeah, just gonna go and jump in the car now. Make my way down to the venue. This is the first match I've fished on the Bath Fountain ticket, so not really too sure what to expect, to be honest. The draw don't start till 8. It's about 6:45 now. So I'm just going to go and do a lap around the lake quickly, jot down some favourable swim numbers, and yeah, see if we get lucky in the draw, to be honest. Yeah, it's just going to be one of them, look at the draw and fish it nice and quietly and see what happens. So yeah, let's see what happens, jump in the car and get going. Right, so I'm at the lake, had a good walk around, a couple of laps really, done a quick first lap, writing down some numbers of areas that I want to kind of target if possible, if I'm lucky in the draw. Done a second lap just to try and really prioritise those numbers on my list. Now obviously most of it is down to luck of the draw, to be honest, but I guess if I've got some sort of idea where I want to go and what I want to do, then you know, I guess that's a little bit of an edge for myself to actually know where I'm going. I don't know the lake too well. I've only done sort of half a dozen sessions down here. So weather-wise, it's kind of flat calm at the moment. Real high sun, blue skies. You know, just probably not the best conditions for fishing. But there's looking a few prime swims around the lake. So the draw's about to take place in 5 minutes' time. So just going to get myself sorted, get down there, obviously keep my fingers and toes crossed that I come out early and I can pick one of my swims off my list. If not, then you know, just going to have to take it on face value and choose one, you know, whatever's left really, and just slot in between. So yeah, let's get out to the draw, keep my fingers crossed and see what happens, and I'll come back to you and let you know. Right, so very briefly, I think I come out 16th, 17th in the draw. Obviously not ideal, but you know, that's the luck of the draw really. Pretty much everything I had written down had pretty much gone, so just picked a random one off my sheet, one that I remember from the walk around, a bit of space in the water, you know, bit of space either side on each swim, and yeah, chose peg 30, so this is the swim itself. As you can see, I'm going to just generally fish the margins, to be honest. There's a nice margin that's all been cleared out down there, so I can get around the side of there and hopefully just drop one off that tree. Yeah, a bit of open water. The next swim to the left there is kind of blocked off by this bush as well, so yeah, just kind of play it by ear really, to be honest. It's going to be quite a sunny day and just keep my eyes peeled, see what happens. Time to get all the stuff set up. I think it's half an hour before the whistle goes, so yeah, well, I guess just going to play it by ear, fish your margins, you know, stay right back from the water's edge and see what happens, to be honest. But obviously I'm going to blog this session as sort of each couple of hours pass, and I'll keep you updated on any happenings. Right, so the last hour and a half has been a bit manic, to be honest. Obviously getting all the kit over to my swim, getting the rod sorted, finding a couple of spots, etc. I've got a left-hander right on the margin, just off a marginal bush. Goes down for a real clean donk, to be honest. This seems a real clear spot. So obviously, you know, it's probably seen a bit of bait over the years. So I've got literally that one right under my rod tips, and then my right-hander. Just literally got it underarmed, directly out in front, a bit of a firmer area in the silt, both presented on hinge stiff rigs.
The left-hander's got some pellet and some broken boilie crumb over it, just little bits and pieces really. And the right-hander, I've probably put about 30-40 baits out, just scattered around in the area of the rig. So yeah, gotta wait and see what obviously happens with that. Conditions are still really bright, as you might be able to tell. And yeah, I'm absolutely gagging for a brew. It's been a bit of a rush, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is obviously through this session keep you updated every couple of hours or so, obviously when stuff happens, and yeah, we'll see what happens with this match. Like I said before, really it's my first one, so not really too sure what to expect, but I'm sure it'll throw up a few surprises for a few people. So like I said, I come 16th out the draw. Picked a less favourable swim, I guess, from what the regulars probably fish. A lot of the better pegs obviously got snapped up first, so and I would have done the same if it was me. So yeah, I guess it's going to be just a matter of seeing what happens, keeping my eyes peeled for any signs of any fish, and going with that. So yeah, I'm going to get a brew on. I'll shut up now, and I'll update you in a couple of hours, go through sort of like what I'm doing, my rigs and stuff like that, and just the usual really. So I'll speak to you in a bit. Right, so it's just coming up to about 11 o'clock now, so obviously the match has been going for a couple of hours. So basically not a lot's happened so far as I'm aware. Both the rods are out. I'll go through the rig setup and stuff in a minute, well, at least a terminal tackle end. I might go through the rig a little bit later on. So yeah, I've got one down the left hand margin, as I mentioned, and one sort of underarm just flicked out in front of me. I'll go through the setup with you. So quite simple, to be honest, nothing revolutionary, just basic setup that I'll take pretty much everywhere and catch fish, so I'm not really going to change things, to be honest. It's just short section of the quarter tubing down to obviously a lead clip sleeve, lead clip, got Southwest leads, flat pair there, and the sort of organic coating, bits of mud and bark, and as natural as they can look really. I think that was like a 2.5, possibly 3 ounce. Down to obviously the swivel end, I've just got a quick change swivel, just to allow me obviously to unhook the rig for ease of getting the rig back out, etc. If I was lucky to have a fish and I wanted to get the rig back out on the spot, and even for changing tactics and stuff as well really, so that just makes life a lot easier. And just down to a little Gardner mini anti-tangle sleeve. Now with me using the material I use for my boom on my hinge stiff rig, there's not really a need for an extra long anti-tangle sleeve. Just like to keep it short and sweet, and it just tucks nicely inside the actual lead clip itself, so that goes on there. And obviously the rig obviously will be tailing out that end, so yeah, like I say, nothing out of this world, nothing crazy, just use it everywhere I go, and yeah, it does the business for me, so don't really need to change anything, to be honest, I feel, if it works elsewhere. So that's the rig, terminal tackle of the setup. Like I say, I'll go through the rig later. That's on both my rods, just it's just going to sit nicely over any debris, or and obviously the leads aren't going to plug in massively either, because they've got that sort of larger face area, so that's just going to sit on top of the silt, or any, like I say, any debris on the bottom of the lake. So we'll see how it goes for obviously the next couple of hours. If I've got anything to report to you, I'll come back. And so right, just to talk you through what I'm doing on my left hand peg, so the margin spot. Obviously, as you can see in there, I've got some real small pellet. Now obviously, there's not a fish that swims that don't like pellet. Now I don't know how much this lake sees, but I thought, with it being a margin spot, I'm just going to put a light sprinkler in the pellet just to sit down in the edge there, and obviously just whittle away over time. And obviously there's a handful of boilies in there, but I'm not putting them in whole. I'm just giving them a squeeze, breaking them down into next to nothing really, just so that flutters down over the top of any debris, little bits, big bits, little bits, all different shapes and sizes, different aromas coming off the different baits, etc. Now obviously I bought a massive bulk deal from Baitworks, which come up from time to time, of sort of a load of frozen bait, offcuts, etc. that are obviously all different shapes and sizes. Now these are perfect for the wary carp, and you can get some really good deals on these baits. So I've got a mixture of Royal Marine, Monster Red, Atlantic Heat in there, and also I'm just giving that a good shake up and just palming that into my little margin spot. You know, if a fish comes along that, it's going to be a nice little carpet bait, and obviously my bait just propped up on top of that. So yeah, that's what I'm doing on the margin spot, and I'll show you what I'm doing for the right hand spot, which is a little bit further out. Now I'm hoping you can see that. Got a bucket full of mixed boilie in there. Like I mentioned before, I bought a massive bulk load from my bait supplier Baitworks. Now these are all the offcuts, the odds and ends of a load of freezer bait. So you've got the Monster Red in there, you've got the Atlantic Heat, you've got the Royal Marine. Now obviously each one in their own right, excellent fish catchers. Last year I used the Royal Marine to great effect, banking a number of fish from my syndicate on it. So that's definitely one that I'm going to be using, obviously going on this year. Now in here there's a load of obviously shapes and sizes going on my right hand rod. I think I'm fishing over some sort of light to medium silt. So what I've done is I've just picked out the smaller baits from the actual bucket there. So obviously the actual smaller ones that I find are going to not sink into the actual, you know, the depths of the silt. They're just going to sit on top nicely, and what I've done is obviously halved some of the bigger baits as well, just to allow some of the aroma to escape from the actual baits themselves. Now they're all different textures, smells, like I say, shapes and sizes, so they're all going to break down and release at all different speeds. Obviously some of these are absolutely pungent, like the Atlantic Heat and obviously the Royal Marine, so obviously there's a lot of different attractors in there as well. So like I say, I've put a 30 or 40 baits out over that rod, and then I've just got a hinge stiff sat in amongst them. So this is going to mimic one of the obviously the boilies on the bottom, but obviously stay clear of any of the bottom debris that might be in that little area. That's what I'm going to do on that one, I think, unless obviously I see anything else, and just maybe put a few, you know, add a few more baits throughout the day just to keep the attraction, and see what happens from there. Alright, so quick update, and I just want to talk you through my rig that I'm going to be using and will be putting out tonight as well. At the moment it's just gone 1 o'clock, the sun's decided to come out again. This morning there's a real cold wind coming from right to left, and yeah, things are pretty cold, to be honest with you. I was just sort of sat back out the way of the water's edge in the umbrella, and yeah, there's a chill to the air, but the sun's come out, it's pretty warm now. So I've tied up a couple of rigs ready for the evening. I want to sort of put visual baits out, visual and really smelly, so I've gone with the Baitworks Scent from Hell white pop-up and pink pop-up. Now I had a fish last weekend from a syndicate on a pink one, so I've decided to bring the same tactic here really. Like I say, when the darkness falls, I want to maybe be able to catch the fish's eye with something more visual than a dull bottom bait, and obviously give it something a little bit more smelly to home in on. So yeah, I'm going to be using Baitworks Scent from Hell pop-ups now, using hinge stiff rigs just to allow for combating any of the debris on the lake bed. So this is tied from Corda semi-stiff end trap. This is in the weed green, and I just steam this out so it's a nice stiff boom. But obviously once it's been in the water for a little while, it does soften up, and it does obviously, you know, allow for a little bit of contouring. I just tie this directly to the swivel that's on the choddy, and just make a little break next to the knot, just for allowing for a little bit of movement, not much, just a tiny little bit. That's balanced out with some of the dark matter putty. I find that sticks really well to the actual swivel itself, although it still allows for that movement for the bait to just spin around if need be, you know, as and when it's out in the water. Now, as I mentioned, I'm using the Baitworks pop-ups, and this one's obviously got the pink one on it, and just blob down with a little bit of the Corda bait floss. So that'll go on one of the rigs. Not decided which side yet. The white one and the pink one's going to go on. Just going to go with the flow and see what happens really. And yeah, so that's the other one there. Same again. End trap semi-stiff through to the quarter choddy. Tied directly onto the swivel there. Balanced out again. And the white pop up. Nothing crazy, nothing mental. Again, like my terminal tackle setup. Just standard setups, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, they've both been tied ahead of tonight. I'll decide what sort of time to put them out. You know, maybe 6-7ish, just to allow a couple of hours before darkness sets in. So yeah, at the moment nothing's really happening. Can't really see a lot from my swim, to be fair. The ripples on the surface are making it hard to see any fish that may or may not be coming through on the surface or just below. But yeah, I'll keep battling on, and hopefully as obviously the day draws on and the light starts to fade, then maybe the fish will come visit these areas down this end of the lake. But like I say, at the moment everyone's in the same court. Nothing's been had, and yeah, we'll just have to see what happens for the remainder of the day. Right, so I think it's just after 4 o'clock now. Just thought I'd do a quick update really. One fish had been out from each end of the lake, so one from out down that end, just around the corner, you won't be able to see that. It's come out from down there, and another one has come out from down that end. So at the moment, currently in third place along with everybody else, so yeah, we're all winning. Nothing's happened through today, to be honest. Like, it's been so windy and stuff this way. Not really been able to see any fish. Seen one or two once that wind's died down. You can see them sort of cruising, maybe mid to the 3/4 of the way to the surface. But to be honest, from this side I can't really do anything. Not that I've brought my zig gear anyway, because yeah, I'm an idiot obviously. So yeah, a little bit peeved off with myself that I didn't bring my my zig gear, but never mind. Let's see what the night holds. Rods are out now for the night, so I've changed my mind on the short rod. I've put a bottom bait on that one. Ones that I've been soaking for a few weeks now in a bit of oil and some rock salt. So with that spot being so clean, I thought, wow, I'll drop a rig down and use a bottom bait rather than a pop-up. It might be a little less blatant, and obviously have a few free offerings around that as well. So I've gone with hinge stiff on my right hander, like I had it out earlier, with a scatter and a bait as well. So yeah, I'm just going to kick back now, chill out, listen to the footy on the radio, have some grub, and yeah, let's see what this evening brings. But obviously, if anything happens before then I'll come back to you and obviously and let you know. So fingers crossed for a fish early evening or through the night. So yeah, I'll come back to you once we get an update.
I need somebody to calm me down, a little loving like Valium. I need somebody to knock me out. I need some loving like, ooh, I don't know what I'm wrong.
Right, so it's about 7:10 in the evening. Just listen to the Everton Man United game, and typical United snatched it at the end. Had some grub, decent Thai green curry, courtesy of the girlfriend. So yeah, top work on that, Gem. Thanks very much. Now we're kind of going to go into the sort of witching hour really. The wind's died off completely. It's flat, calm, and there's a certain eeriness about it, and anticipation of what obviously might happen. I ain't got a clue because I've never obviously night fished one of these matches before, so it could all kick off. It might not. It's going to get pretty cold tonight, so I'm not too sure what's going to happen. Yeah, just going to take it for what comes. To be quite honest, I'd be happy at just nicking one fish. I'd be delighted with that, to be honest, because there's always a chance it's going to be a good one. I think basically what happens when you have a fish, you just shout your peg number really loud. So yeah, and then the bailiffs down the end in the shed and stuff come down and obviously weigh your fish and verify the weight of your fish. So yeah, that should be interesting. Hoping obviously sort of any time from now until obviously light tomorrow morning, we could be hearing a fair few shouts, so I'm going to obviously try and stay awake as long as possible, and yeah, listen out, see who's bagging up and who's not really. So yeah, fingers crossed that'll be me. If anything happens in the meantime, I'll come back to you and let you know how we're getting on. Right, so it's 9 o'clock now. Normally obviously the gates will be shut, all the lines will be out of the water, and obviously the fish have free roam of the whole lake, hoovering up obviously any leftovers that people have put out. So I guess this is really where the fun and games begin. So yeah, these next, I don't know what, 8 hours could be quite interesting, to be honest. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this. I'm going to try and stay awake as long as possible, and hear for any shouts and any alarms, and yeah, I guess we'll take it from there. But fingers crossed I hook into one of these Hunstrete fish in the night, and yeah, hopefully I can get you some footage on the camera too. So I will catch up with you shortly. Right, so it's about 20 to 6 in the morning. There was a flurry of activity throughout the night. Heard a few footsteps and stuff behind my swim, so there must have been a few more up the bank, but unfortunately nothing passed through my swim. Obviously I've got a few hours until the match draws to an end. Friend I know from the Bathampton Facebook page, Rich, he's just landed a fish just now. He had that all weighed in, so I'll be on the phone to him shortly and find out how big that was, what fish it was. Fair play to him, because that was one of the swims that I was going to get in. Peg 10 or 11 were up there on my choices, so yeah, that's come good in the end for him, so that's all good. It got quite cold last night. Temperatures did drop. I had to top the water bottle up a couple of times just to keep myself sort of warm and stuff, and but yeah, nothing. I don't think it really kicked off as much as I expected to. It was either that or I'd passed out from about 11 o'clock, to be honest. So yeah, I can't really recall much else happening, unless obviously people just weren't shouting really loud and obviously text people down at the shed. But yeah, I didn't hear much, and I wasn't woken from my bag. I think I woke up once at about 2ish, and everything was flat silent. So I think maybe the most of the flurry of activity come sort of between that sort of maybe 9 to 12 period, but I'm sure I'll find out in good time via the Facebook page, any decent fish that come out. So that's worth keeping an eye on. If you do want to look for that, it's the Bathampton page, and there's also a Hunstrete gallery as well, which you can look for. But yeah, go and hit them up on Facebook, and obviously you can maybe even get yourself a ticket and get in on the other matches that are down here as well. So I'm just going to keep this one to a minimum, and get back in the bag and just keep an eye on the water, and make myself a brew. So hopefully I'll update you before the end of the day. Right, so it's 8 o'clock, so we're into the last hour of the match now. Just having a chat to the lad next door as well. He ain't had nothing, but the lad 1 or 2 further up from us had like an 18-pounder, so they have got down so far at some point. But to be honest, over the last 23 hours I haven't even felt remotely close to a fish, to be quite honest with you. Like I say, Rich opposite me in peg 10, he had one this morning about 20 past 5, when I sort of not long after I woke up really. But that's about the only sign of fish activity that I've seen today, to be quite honest. Now the lake's looking pretty still and pretty quiet today, to be honest with you. Not a lot happening from what I can tell. People just packing down their stuff and whatnot, a bit like me in a minute. Rods have remained motionless pretty much the last 23 hours. So yeah, not a lot's happened, to be fair. Got to tidy up that lot in a minute as well. Shouldn't take me long. Get it all packed down, ready for the 9 o'clock whistle, and get it all loaded into the car and get home and showered, I suppose. But fingers crossed that I have a fish before the whistle goes. And obviously if I do, then you'll be the first to know about it. So I'll catch up with you anytime now in the last hour. Right, so 8:59 minute left. Nothing's happened in the last hour for me. As you can see, everything's packed up, ready to go. Rod's still out. Even brought the net in to try and blag myself a fish, and there we go. There's a shout. Everybody to get their rods in. I'm going to quickly whip mine in and get myself off down to the garage and have a look at the weight sheet. So I'll come back to you and let you know.
Right, so just been down to the shed. Obviously the match has all come to a close now. It's about 10 o'clock, and yeah, so went down there, and obviously they're announcing who come first, etc, etc, and managed to grab some notes on my phone and say it's reading it all out. So yeah, all in all, over the 24 hours, 23 fish were banked, 2 of them being 30s. Now the biggest 30 come out of a swim called Bridges, and that was 31 pound 3 ounces, and that's the first 30 for that young lad as well. So obviously that's you know, amazing to have that in the match, and fair play to him as well. So I'm sure we'll be chuffed for a little while with having that one. First place overall for the whole match was won by someone in the Ponder swim, and that was for £94 2 ounces. And second place in Peg 10, Rich, who runs the Barhampton page, and I've obviously been speaking to him over a short period of time, getting to know him as well. Peg 10, one of my choices on the list, going by some inside info I had previously to this match. Yeah, he had 5 fish all in all for £79 12 ounces. So yeah, he had one obviously first light this morning, and obviously 4 through the night, which I were unaware of. So fair play to him, and obviously that swim out of our 8 within our section pretty much done the business, to be honest, because no one else around him had anything from his bank upwards, and obviously out of our little section of water. So yeah, fair play to you, Rich. And the total for the whole event on fish banks wise was £446 and 15 ounces. So you know, 23 fish over the space of 24 hours. It looks like obviously people have had a fair share of fish. Apparently 7 of us blanked, so yeah, I'm one of them. But you know, I never felt confident really going through that whole day / night, just because I've never really had any sort of inklings that any fish were in the area, to be quite honest with you. So but you got to be in it to win it. So you know, my first event as well. So I'm looking forward to getting back down to the next one, to be honest. Obviously coming late out in the draw as well didn't really do me any favours, but again, that's the luck of the draw. So I'm just off home now, sort my gear out, have a chill out day, and obviously next week I'm gonna get all my gear ready for the Rookley trip. So I'll try and get this video uploaded next week, and give you an insight about what I really did over the 24 hours, and yeah, I'll catch up with you soon. So thanks for watching. Any of the links for the Barhampton page, etc, I'll put below in the description, and obviously don't forget to like my page for any future videos that are coming out. And obviously if you're on Facebook, come and look for my page, Martin's Angling Adventures, and keep up to date that way. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope it hasn't been boring. Sorry I didn't have any fish, because you know, that would have been a lot better and a bit more better viewing, but hey ho, that's how it goes. Sometimes you can't win them all. So yeah, again, like I say, thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you soon.